Hi friends, as always I'm super excited to see you here. If we are meeting for the first time, I'm Uma Shankar Pandey and this is the Dr. USP channel. I host videos on media, communication and how to make the best of the digital world on this channel. To stay updated with the latest on the channel, I urge you to consider subscribing to the channel. Blockchains have become a part of our everyday conversations. Let's find out more about how the blockchain technology works. There are many advantages of the blockchain technology. For one, it does not require a central system or a central authority. Secondly, it's a very secure system. Thirdly, it depends on a peer-to-peer validation. So let's find out more. The biggest advantage of blockchain technology is that the data cannot be tampered with. Let's imagine a transaction between Ajit and Baljit. Generally, these transactions could be recorded either on a ledger or there is a need for a third party like a bank or another system to record these transactions. These records can always be tampered. That's where blockchain comes in. The blockchain is a chain of blocks and each block contains data. For example, it will contain the names of the sender and the receiver, Ajit and Baljit in this case, the nature of the transaction, how much was transacted, the date and the time stamp. And most importantly, it will cover a digital signature known as hash. A hash in a blockchain is like a fingerprint or a digital signature. It identifies the block and all its content and is always unique. If anything on the block is changed or edited, it will change the hash as well with a different date and time stamp. These blocks are linked together in a linear form. Each block contains a hash of the previous block. So one of the information that the block contains is the hash of the previous block. And this is what makes a blockchain, a chain of blocks. Because each block carries the information of the previous block, the chain becomes very, very secure. If you make a change to the information recorded in one particular block of a blockchain, you can't rewrite it. Instead, the change is stored in a new block. Therefore, you can't rewrite history. The new block will show the change as well as the date and time of the change and also a new cryptographic hash. There are three ways in which the blockchain technology secures itself. The first way a blockchain secures itself from hacking or tampering is by hashing, as we just saw. Tampering with a block within a blockchain causes the hash of the block to change. That change makes the following block, which pointed to the first block's hash, invalid. So it does not have the hash of the earlier block, so it becomes invalid. The second way in which blockchains secure themselves is by making them distributed. There is no central server. There is no central entity to manage the chain. Instead, they use a peer-to-peer network. So it is a decentralized database managed by multiple participants. It is also known as the distributed ledger technology. So basically, a blockchain exists on nodes. A node is basically a computer with decent storage with the latest OS and a good RAM. So it contains the full copy of the transaction history of the blockchain. Every new block is updated on all the nodes. Bitcoin, for example, has over 13,000 nodes. The entire Bitcoin blockchain is 320 GBs. One of the path-breaking innovations introduced by Bitcoin founder Satoshi Nakamoto is the consensus algorithm. So whenever there is a new transaction, like the one between Ajit and Baljit in our case, a new block is created. However, the new block is not directly added to the blockchain. Unless more than half of the nodes approve of the new block, it won't be added to the chain. To avoid tampering, a new block can be created in Bitcoin every 10 minutes. So every new transaction is not added as a block to the chain. It is temporarily stored in memory pools. A consensus algorithm is then used to confirm the veracity of the transaction and then create a new block to the chain. This process is known as proof of work. So proof of work is an effective way to verify the transactions without the use of a third party like banks. It is based on cryptography. Hence the term cryptocurrency is often used. So it requires miners to solve difficult equations that can link to the previous block on the chain, and this requires the use of expensive computers. As soon as the transaction is put up on the memory pool, every single miner starts trying to find the solution to that one number that will satisfy the hash for the previous block. At some point, one of these miners will be successful and he or she will be awarded with coins. Then the nodes will verify this block, and if the hash is correct, it will be added to the blockchain. The proof of work process is no longer as democratic as it used to be. Those with higher internet speed and great hardware specifications on their computers will be able to solve the cryptography challenge faster and be the winners always. These days, expensive ASIC miners are used, which use up a lot of electricity. In recent times, energy efficient Raspberry Pi miners are used to help miners find out the solution to that number which will be used as a hash in the blockchain. They use very less electricity compared to the application specific integrated circuits miner. Because of cheap electricity, most of the earlier miners were from China. Cryptocurrencies like Ethereum these days use proof of stake instead of proof of work as a consensus algorithm. It is technically possible that a group of miners controlling more than 50% of the mining computing power can influence what transactions are validated and added to the chain. This is known as the 51% attack. Such an attack on a new blockchain called Ethereum Classic led to the development of proof of stake. Proof of stake is another type of consensus mechanism used to validate cryptocurrency transactions. Within this system, owners of the cryptocurrency can stake their coins, which gives them the right to check new blocks of transactions and add them to the blockchain. These owners are randomly chosen. This system is regarded as faster and more efficient. There are a number of things that the blockchain technology can help us with. It can help us with the secure sharing of medical data for one. It can help in the NFT, non-fungible token marketplaces. It can help in the tracking of music royalties, of cross-border payments. It can help real-time Internet of Things operating systems. It can help us with anti-money laundering tracking systems and supply chain and logistics monitoring, which companies like Walmart are already using. Thank you for staying along, friends. As usual, it was a delight having you here. I'll be back with another video very soon. Till then, have a great time.